Hi boys and girls, today we're going to be making some numbers. We're going to be using Play-Doh, so any Play-Doh that you have, a rolling pin to roll out that dough. I got this at Target, so it came with the Play-Doh and the learning mats. So the mats have the numbers written on them, and it also gives you a workspace with the numbers written beside it, so you can make those numbers yourself. I also have an eraser and a whiteboard where I'm going to practice making my numbers, as you can see I've been doing here, and a marker, an expo marker or magic marker. Okay, I'm going to get started at the center. So first, I'm going to review my numbers. So when we look at our numbers, some of them have straight lines going down, 2 has a curvy line, 3 has 2 curvy lines, 4 has a slanted line and some straight lines. So 5 has almost a circle and a curvy or a straight line at the top. 6 has lots of curvy lines. 7 has a straight line at the top and then slants. Slant is when it's sideways. 8 has 2 circles. That's why people call it a figure 8 sometimes. And 9 has a circle and a curvy line. Okay, and then for 10, I know some of us have been reviewing this. You'd make a straight line down, and you'd also make, for 0, a circle. And the 1 would go first. I will show you here on my whiteboard. A 1 would go first, and then what would go after the 1? A 0. Okay, I'm gonna erase my work here. So you're gonna be able to use all these tools when you get to this station. All right, so we're going to use our Play-Doh and we're going to try to make the numbers. Now, as I was saying, some of these numbers have straight lines, some of them have curvy lines. We're going to start with the number 1. It has a straight line down. You'll see here that it has a little slant line at the top. Either one is acceptable. Just make sure that you don't make it a straight line across like this, because then we'd have the number 7. Okay, so we're gonna do some curvy lines for the number 2. So as you're in the center, you can use your fingers or your hands to roll it out, or you can use the rolling pin. Just make sure that you're holding your Play-Doh over your mat, and make sure with our Play-Doh that we're making numbers, okay? We really got to focus on our numbers. I know it's tempting to play and make different shapes and just play different things with our Play-Doh, but when we're here, we have really got to work on those numbers, because I want us to be excellent number writers. I know we can. Okay, so curvy. It just takes practice. So I thought it'd be fun to use this Play-Doh to make these numbers instead of just writing them, because first we've really got to focus on the shape of those numbers before I can expect you to write them. What number did I make here? A 2. Okay. What's our next number after 2? 3, that's right. So I'm going to make some 2 curvy lines. I'm going to use the rolling pin this time to show you. See how I'm going to flatten it out? Okay. Curvy lines. And then you press it down, that makes the number 3. Some of you will also in the center be showing me the quantity. Now the quantity, that's how much or how many of something there is. You'll see on the number mat they're putting up that many fingers. So for 5, he has a whole hand. And then there's also 5 dots. So the quantity would be 5 dots or 5 coins for 5. We'd have to count that out. So once you're done making the number 5, if we say, can you show us 5 circles? And this is where you could really use your imagination. You could pretend they're 5 bouncing balls. Just make sure that you're counting out 5. And once you've practiced that with all the numbers 0 through 10, yes, you can do this with your Play-Doh. We're going to be practicing making those numbers ourselves. We're going to write them, and it's okay if you still need to use the number mat to look at the shape of the numbers. I understand that. This is your first time making these numbers, so by all means. So for 6, if I want to use the Play-Doh to go over it, and just see the shape of it, that's fine. So I know that I'm gonna make a kind of like a snake for 6. But I really want to see those numbers. So 6, I'm gonna go on from 6. I'm gonna write 7, because 7 comes after 6. 8, 9, 10. If you want to make 9 a few times to really get it down with the circle and the line down, absolutely, you can do that. Okay, this is just really where we need to focus on in the center, making our numbers, okay, so that we're ready for math. And then you're going to use your eraser if you make a mistake, of course.